Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to our online Kashmir Cultural Heritage Awareness Series. Today is our 56th week. We are very pleased Sri Ashok Balasubramaniam is joining us from San Jose, California for prayer. Ashok ji has appeared few times before in our series. Welcome to you, sir.
Thanks, sir. So, as you say, I want to remain always Balasubramaniam, but my name is only Subramaniam.
Oh, I added Bala because you look very young.
So, that's the name. Okay, Namaste.
Hello.
One second. கடை கண் பார்த்தருள் காமாட்சி கடை கண் பார்த்தருள் காமாட்சி எம்மை கடை தேற்றி கரை சேர்ப்பாய் நீரஜாட்சி கடை கண் பார்த்தருள் காமாட்சி எம்மை கடை தேற்றி கரை சேர்ப்பாய் நீரஜாரி கடை கண் பார்த்தருள் காமாட்சி அடைக்கலம் என்றுமுன் அடியினையே அடைக்கலம் என்றுமுன் அடியினையே இந்த கடையனு கருத்திடுவாய் இகப்பிணையே உந்தன் கடை கண் பார்த்தருள் காமாட்சி எம்மை கடை தேற்றி கரை சேர்ப்பாய் நீரஜாட்சி கடை கண் பார்த்தருள் காமாட்சி முடையெல்லாம் நீங்கி முகிழ்த்திடும் வாழ்வு கொடையுனதருளால் குழைந்திடும் தாழ்வு முடையலாம் நீங்கி முகிழ்த்திடும் வாழ்வு கொடையுனதருளால் குழைந்திடும் தாழ்வு கிடைத்திடும் அனைத்து கேளாதருளும் கிடைத்திடும் அனைத்து கேளாதருளும் விடயமந்தார் வல்லி விலக்கிடு மருளும் விடயமந்தார் வல்லி விலக்கிடு மருளும் கடை கண் பார்த்தருள் காமாட்சி எம்மை கடை தேற்றி கரை சேர்ப்பாய் நீரஜாரி கடை கண் பார்த்தருள் காமாட்சி
Thank you, Ashok ji. It's nice seeing you all the time in our program. Please do join us whenever we ask you.
It's my pleasure.
So we'll continue with our program.
Absolutely.
We thank Sri Kanchi Mutt for our ongoing Kashmir initiative and offer our namaskaram to His Holiness Sri Shankaracharya Saraswati Swamigal. Kanchi Mutt, as we know, has always been in the forefront, modestly working with the sole aim of national integration, spiritual enlightenment, and preserving the uniqueness of Kashmir, as Kashmir is our cultural heritage. We are very pleased to welcome Sri Autar Krishan Durani ji. Krishan ji is a mechanical engineer and was auto parts manager for more than 2 decades in Dubai, with postings in Sweden, United States, and Canada. He was with Al Futtaim in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, well known to everyone who visited Dubai. Hailing from Kashmir, he has been active as Sevadar of Mata Sharika Bhawani temple at Srinagar and Mata Khir Bhawani temple at Tulamula. His topic today is contribution of Adi Shankaracharya in reviving Hinduism in Kashmir, and how Kashmir is a cradle of Hinduism as conveyed by Rishis and Vedas. Over to you, Autar Krishan ji.
Namaskar and Jai Gurudev, and thanks to Mr. Ashok ji because he with his with the blessings of Kamakshi Devi. I think he was reciting something, bowing his head towards Kamakshi Devi.
Yes.
That
Great.
was in Tamil. I'm glad you understood Tamil.
Yeah, no, I don't understand Tamil, but words Kamakshi Devi, and he was bowing to her and paying his uh, gratitude. That is what I could gather.
Yes.
So today we'll be speaking about Adi Shankaracharya ji. He, as we study his birth and life from 5 years to 2 years of his age, was full of miracles and marvels. He was a superhuman being. No normal human being can write so many bhashyas on Upanishads, so many stotras, so many hymns. He was born around 788 BCE to a Brahmin couple, Shivagiri and Arya Devi, living at Kaladi in Kerala with the blessings of Mahadev Shiv in their dream. They had choice to select between a short-lived genius and a normal child with long life. They opted for a genius. At age 5, he was sent to Gurukul. Within 3 years, he completed his curriculum. After he lost his father, he stayed for some time with his mother and launched to have a guru. Gaurav was a famous as exponent on Advaita Vedanta. When Guruji asked Govindacharya, a proponent of Advaita Vedanta, who preached him at a mountainous cave on the bank of Narmada, after reading Upanishads and Vedas, he wrote a Bhashya on Brahma Sutra, which is a masterpiece on Vedic philosophy. On seeing his brilliance, Guruji asked him to go to Kashi and write on ancient Hindu scriptures. At Kashi, many young Hindu Sanatana Dharma philosophy seekers like Suresh Acharya became his disciples. While entering the gates, his associates, making way for him to enter, asked an untouchable to keep aside. Untouchable smiled and asked him if he wants to keep his body away or he wants his soul to move aside. So that Shankara was thoughtful about it, and then he looked into his eyes. That was Lord Shiva himself. He bowed before him and sought his blessings. In praise of Lord Shiva, he wrote Manisha Panchak, his first hymn in praise of Lord Shiva. There were big hi-fi priests in Kashi, like Kumarila Bhatt. He challenged them for a discourse. The head priest, who was the head priest at that time, he asked Mandana Mishra, his assistant, to have discourse with him, which lasted for many days. His victory in debates made him famous, and now he had many disciples. Now Shankaracharya thought of moving towards north, where Buddhism had gained roots and many Hindus had adopted Buddhism. Buddhism talks of nirvana, self-realization through meditation, which is tip of the iceberg as far as the Hinduism and Hindu philosophy is concerned. While as Vedanta philosophy is essence of Brahma, Sat, Chit, and finally Ananda. That is the ultimate. Ananda is the highest degree of solace and inner happiness that we want to achieve, all of us. The most revered and highest seat of learning, as known to scholars, was Shardapit in Kashyap Mir, earlier name of Kashmir. Walking on foot from Kerala to Kashmir, establishing various mathas at various places, can only be done by a superhuman being. By the way, do we know the people How at that time the directions were established. So you have to go towards north. How would we moving around in the jungle? At that time there were no proper roads. How did we understand what is where, which direction is north? So there used to be small Shivalingas at a few kilometers away everywhere. Those were used even by Sher Shah Suri while making GT road. On the if you see very old roads, you will see a Shivalingam on the side of the road, which would give the direction because the the water flow of the Shivalingam is towards the north. It must face towards the north. That is the proper way a Shivalingam is placed. So these were Shivalingam has pranali from where water flows down and which always faces towards north. So that would act like a compass. Sharda Peeth had four doors facing in each direction. East, west, and north doors were open, but the south door was still closed because nobody had come from south to attain the degree which Sharda Peetham was giving to the people. Many Kashmiri Pandits were still following Sanatan Dharma and were exponents in Kundalini Jagran and sadhana of the highest order. Possibly on seeing this, Shankara thought of writing hymns and stotras and give pravachan at various locations so that he awakens the masses and connects more and more people to revive Sanatan Dharma hidden inside them. Because many had adopted Buddhism by the time because of Ashoka's influence. Annapurna Stotram, where Kashmir word is mentioned twice. If you read Annapurna Stotram, you will see Kashmir written twice regarding the saffron and other things. Kanakadara Stotram are heard and recited by millions of people every day, even today. He revived Vedas and established Sanatan Dharma and Mathas by traveling on foot from south to north. What a great task even today. Some writers are of the opinion that Shankara, his real name, on coming to Kashmir, talked only about Shiva, the supreme power. In Kashmir, he camped in the outskirts of Srinagar city along with his disciples. It is said that a young girl who passed by and on seeing their condition picked up two small sticks, samida, which we call samida, even today we use in the havans and yags. She recited some mantras and rubbed together and she produced the fire. So he was very impressed, Shankara. Few days later, an ordinary housewife, while giving away a bowl of rice to his disciple, told him about his lifespan by just looking at his forehead. On learning these and more, Shankar was curious to have discourse with Kashmiri Pandits. A discourse was organized, and some more Pandits later discussed Advaita and Vedas with Shankar. Kashmiri Pandits convinced him that the energy and the power behind Shiva is Shakti. Till this time, he was concentrating only on Shankar, the Shiv. Shakti was slightly behind in his theory, but later on, Kashmiri Pandits they convinced him. Shakti in the form of Mother Goddess, treasure of affection, kindness, and love. I have heard even today during the Upanayana Sanskar at Tamil Nadu and Kerala, a map of Kashmir is drawn with lime or rice flour. After puja, when the boy is to be adorned with the sacred thread, he is taken to this map and the thread is worn on him. This can be confirmed by Shankarji, Mr. Avar V. Shankar. He can verify this. Maybe reverence towards Kashmir and Sharda Peetham. During his stay in Kashmir, he wrote Saundarya Lahari, which is marvel in Shiv Shakti Puja. He also wrote Ath Devi Katha Prarthana Stotram, Shama Prarthana Stotram. In the shlokas mentioned in the Shama Prarthana Stotram, he mentions Chita Bhasma Lepo Garla Ashanam Dikpatadaro Jatadari Kanthe Bhujagapate Hari Pashupati Kapali Bhuteshu Bhajati Jagati Shaika Padavim Bhavani Tatapani Grahan Paripati Phalamidam. He says, O Lord Shiva, you take bhang, datura, you have snake around your neck, your clothes are limited, but still you are the most revered and all powerful amongst all. This is because Mother Goddess is sitting besides you, who is your source of energy. He wrote a Gauri Dadakam. This Gauri Dadakam is Shri Leela Rabda Stapita Lupta Kililokam. This verse, this Gauri Mamba Mambar Haki Mahamiti, this stotram is so popular with Kashmiri Pandits that at Mata Khir Bhawani temple, every day in the morning and evening, this prayer is definitely done. Without these stotras, there is no day when this is not performed, that these shlokas are not. And this is so popular that Kashmiris have, because the Kashmiri language also is basically a mixture of Sanskrit and some other Persian and other languages. So Kashmiris have even twisted to their own way of saying Sanskrit. But this is very popular, and every day it is spoken with full reverence to Mother Goddess. Shankaracharya Mandir, then later on, Shankaracharya Mandir was built by him on a hilltop, which is a marvelous Shiv temple on a miraculous hill. In our childhood, we used to collect clay from the foothill of the hill on Shravana Purnamasi day, and our family Panditji would make parthishwar out of this clay. He would pour milk, water, perform puja, but this clay would not disintegrate. So powerful is the clay at the foothill of the Shankaracharya. It has happened with us. I'm telling you my experiences. So, and later we would immerse that into the Vitasta, now called Jail. Now, because of the influence of Ashoka, Ashoka had spread Buddhism in many parts of India, Asia, including Kashmir. But Kashmir, which was a pure Brahmin area, where very educated and highly intellectual Brahmins performed puja in every household. Every household had a Kashmir had a small room dedicated to puja. We used to call it Thokur Kut. So that Kut means room. So that room was dedicated to Thakurji, means it was only for puja. So now this does not mean that Adi Shankara only spoke about Shiva and Shakti and he ignored Lord Vishnu. In praise of Lord Vishnu, he has written Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Moodamate. And Moodamate, this is even in Kashmiri, we call when if there is a dullard boy who doesn't understand many things and his brain is not working properly, we call him Mudda. So that is what he says, that Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Moodamate. You dullard, you speak, recite every time Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, then you will attain what you want. These verses have the essence of the birth, life, and death and beyond. Kashmir has its own Ganga at the Gangabal Lake, where water gushes out even today at Ganga Ashtami. We have our own Sangam, where three rivers, Sindh, Jhelum, and many rivulets, even from the Amarnath caves, meet each other, called Shadipur, where we would immerse our ashes of ancestors. We have our own Haridwar in Kashmir, which we call Shadipur. Kashmiri Pandits, because have been good astrologers, Pandits, Brahmins. Even today, we have a Kashmiri Panchang compiled by them. What we see difference between the rest of India and Kashmiri Pandits, we observe in place of Janmashtami, we observe Janm Saptami. Why we do so? There's every possibility that while compiling the Panchang on that year, when the Kashmiri Pandit was compiling the Panchang, maybe when he saw the nakshatras, the position of the stars, he must have assumed, oh, this is the time when Lord Krishna must come on this earth. He has to take birth. So he started taking, he observed the fast, and when at the moon, uh, when there was a moonrise, and then only he took some fruits and other things. Most probably because Panditji compiled Jantri, he observed this. Configuration of stars were such that Bhagwan must take birth. Similarly, we celebrate Shivratri on Phaguna Krishna Pakshi Triyodashi, not Chaturdashi. The rest of India, they celebrate on Chaturdashi. But we do it on Triyodashi night itself. Because on Triyodashi, we perform the puja of the Vatakubhaira along with Parvati, the Ganas, and we do a sort of, it's a marriage. So we perform the marriage ceremony of Shiva Parvati, and maybe the next day morning, the rest of India celebrates Shivratri. Even astrologically, our horoscope were made by using yogini dashas. In Kashmiri, say my horoscope, which has been made by my Panditji, it is written according to yogini dasha. While as in most of India, Vinshotri dashas are used. So that was about Kashmir. Now, because with Buddhism in the air, people of Kashmir must have been a confused lot because many had converted to Buddhist. But thanks to Adi Shankaracharya ji, who stayed there and had various discourses and discussions on Advaita, he propagated and reignited the fire of Shiva and Shakti amongst the masses. People appreciated his efforts and teachings and awarded him degree from Mother Sharda Temple, now in POK, the abode of Ma Saraswati. We Hindus in India are very lousy and lazy and do nothing to explore the past and know our glorious history. For example, can there be a temple or any structure so big and historic as Shiva temple at Ellora? Angkor Wat, you must be knowing, in Cambodia is the biggest temple in the world, which was built by Khmer kings with Lord Vishnu as deity. But today it is a Buddhist monastery. So much was Buddhist influence in that area. Although their cultural dances and drama are for Ramayana even today. Indonesia, another Muslim country, which was dominated by Buddhism at that time, but later on they converted to Islam. But the currency notes, even today, have Ganesha and Vishnu on their on the currency note. Their airlines is named Garuda Airlines. So all of us in India should be thankful to Adi Shankaracharya ji for reviving Hinduism in India. He did, in today's language, if we call it, he did Garavapsi of lakhs of Buddhists of India. Like today we say, if some Muslim converts back to Hinduism, we say he has done Garavapsi. So he did it for lakhs of people. We have not done anything since 13th century. So many years have gone by. After that, nothing big has been done as big was done by Adi Shankar. See, you have to be different. When if you have to do something big, you have to be different. We can take an example of our Dr. Bina Budki, founder of Hindu Kashmiri Sangam. She collects ashes of the unknown and left behind and immerses them in Ganges on the Pitra Paksha day. These now Pitra Paksha started from today during these 15 days. It's a Herculean job, especially for a lady. But what we do, raising slogans and gathering for samosa party, that is what we do as if we talk of Hinduism. Actually, Adi Shankaracharya was a lone crusader and traveled miles on foot from Kerala to Kashmir to revive Hinduism. It's not a joke. Traveling from Kerala to Kashmir on foot, even today you can't imagine and you can't think of it. He would, had he lived for some more years, I'm sure he would have revived Hinduism in Indonesia and Cambodia also. But we are lousy, we can't do it. Ellora, if you look at these Ellora caves, it these are there are even today there are many Sanskrit scriptures which have not been decoded, which have not been translated. Maybe there's a Vishwakarma cave. Maybe Vishwakarma himself chiseled out this whole structure and shifted all debris to another planet. Who knows? Because there is a the temple economy of India is 3 lakh crores. But still our Hindu temples are in ruins in Kashmir and even at many places in India. We do not think about it. We are not short of money, but we are lousy and lazy. You can, if you look at those Ellora caves and that Shiv temple, you can't imagine with what tools can human beings make so minute carvings. What tools were used to cut rocks out of this huge mountain? There are thousands of Sanskrit shlokas written there. Where was the rubble shifted? This is another unparalleled treasure we Hindus have. This is one of the treasures that we have, and we are still doing nothing. I am comparing this to what Adi Shankaracharya did. So, comparing to him, we are just doing nothing, and we are only raising slogans Hindu, Hindu, and Hindutva. Another unparalleled treasure that Hindus have is Samaveda. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna says, among Vedas, I am Samaveda. How true is that? Hundreds of instruments have been invented, millions of songs and symphonies are made every day, and the basic foundation of all melodies are 7 suras, Sare Gama Pada Nisa. Nobody can add or delete a surah. Through various ragas, we can even light lamps. We can force clouds to rain. That is why I think it is because of this and this in mind that our this V. Shankarji, he starts the program with a bhajan. That is the melody must be there, and because the force of the power of Samaveda, even after having so many treasures, we are just slogan mongers. Today we feel proud in importing weapons and praising them on hours on TV. We forget that we knew of Pushpak Viman, Agni Ban, Brahma Astra, and whatnot. Hanumanji had the technology to fly in the sky. Our rishis could call anybody from Swarga through Havan and Yagya. So this is these are basic things which we I can see. We don't deny that today's science has done. They have also done miracles, but are they not doing? They are also today's scientists are also doing tapasya. Maybe this is materialistic tapasya, but that was spiritualistic tapasya. Okay. Similarly, taking so modern maybe even with the modern means of technology, we should they get the hints and ideas maybe from the ancient scriptures that we Hindus have. Maybe because of that, because these developments have taken just in our times. I remember when first time, maybe Mr. V. Shankar also will agree, when I went first time to Dubai in 1981, we used to have maximum fax. There was no computer and it was not the advancement was not so fast. My family at that time was in Lucknow. I made a trunk call to Lucknow, which took complete 1 day. We asked today, and the day after it matured. In 1984, we finalized the agency with Volvo Sweden. So we had already Honda, we were already dealing with Honda and Chrysler. Chrysler was in America and Honda was in Japan. But still, we were in the computer was not there so much fast. I'm talking about 82, 83. So, but when we sent a fax to the Swedish counterpart, she said, "What is this? I can't read this. You have to send me only through online." At that time, then we called our computer people of the in the time group. They took a lease line from the UE at the Salat, the telephone company, and then that is how on the lease line we worked for 2 hours. They would give us lease line for 2 hours. Then we could send the mail, and the next day morning we could see it. That was that was how primitive we started. But what I am saying that today's scientists also whatever they are doing is through material means. These are material developments. But what have our rishis and munis were doing sitting just in dhyanam, and they could go to any extent. They could through yajnas and havanas they could invite the deities, they could invite Indraji, the Indra Devata, and ask him that this is happening. But in the dhyan, through dhyan. So that was about Adi Shankaracharya ji, and now we can discuss some points about the Kashmir. Mr. V. Shankar, you are there?
Yes, yes, I am very much here. You want to continue on Kashmir? I know you sent me a picture of your house.
Yeah.
Would you like that to be displayed?
Yes, 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 yes.
Wait, I just share that 1 second. Now, what is that you want to talk about? I have few questions, but I was a bit curious why you sent this picture and what you want to talk about it.
I want to tell the
This is
world.
like the condition in which you left Kashmir.
Yes, yes. This is how. No, wait, this is after that because we were living there. We were living in this house, but this picture was taken sometime in I think 97, 98. After 7 years, 8 years. All the windows had broken down, the doors were open, there was nothing inside. And then I told my friend, okay, take a picture. And then but we had gone just for a day because they we are not welcome at the moment. That is what I want to say.
Now, that was sold, is it? The house, you
Yeah,
sold
in
the house.
2003, we gave an attorney. Yeah, it was like selling power of attorney to our neighbor. So that was the only course left, and so many people have done that because there was no other way around. Sir, actually, when we Kashmiri Pandits, when we left Kashmir, there was that you must have seen in the picture. What there were so many slogans from all mosques, every mosque and every there were so big processions on the streets talking about only about jihad and just they were fixing posters on our on the doors of our houses to leave or get killed or get convert to Islam. So we Kashmiri Pandits were under the impression when we left. What I think most probably we had this in mind that when we en masse go towards India, we leave Kashmir, and the whole of India, all the Hindus of India, they will burst into anger, and then we will be like VIP guests at everywhere, everybody will, all the state governments will open their exchequers and they will give us food, lodging, housing, and whatnot. That is what, that is what probably we had in mind. But what we later on saw, then we had to stay in camps in Jammu. We came to Lucknow. Similarly, wherever persons could find his relations or friends, they stayed there. Even today, people are living in. They even today it is called a camp. In Jagati, most of the people from Kashmiris are staying in Jagati near Jammu, Nagrota. If we call it, even official name is Jagati camp because it is a camp. Because so that is the condition how the people who had magnificent. We had a very small house because we were living in a city. There are many Kashmiri Pandits who had acres of land, who had acres of, who had big farms, orchards. They had walnut trees, almond trees, and then apple gardens. Remember recently there was a person who was killed inside his orchard. It was just one day after the Tiranga Day. He must have done so. He must have raised the Tiranga, probably placed Tiranga on his house, and then in the orchard also. That irked his neighbors and the terrorists, and then he was killed. But they, they want just a bahana to kill somebody. But problem is, we being natives, we are we are the people who own that place. See, so what happened? We have so many associations, Hindu Mahasabha, VHP, Bajrang Dal, all Hindu name, but they are only slogan raisers. They have just done nothing for us. Huh? Only Bala Sahib Thackeray, what he did in 90, because he was at that time there was a Shiv Sena government in Maharashtra. So what he did, he passed an order that any Kashmiri Pandit, he a boy who wants an admission in any college of Maharashtra will be given admission. Just just he should inform that I am a Kashmiri Pandit. He fixed a 10% quota for all Kashmiri Pandits, which is prevalent even today. Now many other state governments have also followed. But first step was taken by Bala Sahib Thackeray. And we Kashmiri Pandits cannot thank him enough. Our boys are now so much educated because 32 years have passed. So the students who were at that time of that age, now they are all IT professionals and whatnot all over the world. They attend education because of only Bala Sahib Thackeray. We must thank you. We have been original landowners of Kashmiris. Kashmiri Pandits were the original landowners. Then what Sheikh Muhammad Abdullah, what he did, he noticed that they are the, because rich people were Kashmiri Pandits. Muslims were just laborers working in their fields, in their orchards. So what he did, that order was called land to tiller. So all the land belonging to Kashmiri Brahmins was overnight given to Muslims. With that order, land to tiller, only 10% was retained by landlords, means Kashmiri Pandits. 90% was given to these tillers who were all Muslims. So overnight they became rich, and overnight Kashmiri Pandits became poor. Still, Kashmiri Pandits did not leave. They said, "Okay, nothing doing. We are intelligent people. We are educated people. We are in the jobs. We have other things. Okay, you take the land, no problem." But so, so Kashmiri Muslims, they have got everything without doing anything. The land they got now, they become the owners of the land. Population got benefited. They have at the moment they have ration cards. where government of India is giving ration at a very cheap rate. They are enjoying that also. So they want all the comforts and goodness of India, but Pakistan is in their hearts. In Kashmiri, we say, Zubjan Mundmai Hindustanas, Dil Chum Pakistan se. In Kashmir, it's a very prominent saying. They will say that, okay, India is okay. We will take even India flag in our hands. We will say Hindustan Zindabad. Only to take the benefits of Hindustan, only to take what government is giving as aid, the development. They want good roads, they want good sanitation, they want good. They will say even BJP Zindabad, Hindustan Zindabad, but only when they want that they should get benefited. When it comes to religion, when it comes to the if you talk what is in your heart, they will say no. Ultimately, we should have Pakistan. They have a dual personality. I call it, which means within their souls they have a tendency towards Pakistan, linear tendency. So unfortunately, BJP people, they didn't understand. They don't know all these things. See, outsiders don't know so much about Kashmir, about Kashmiri Muslims. They don't know their psychology. We have lived with them. We have enjoyed festivals with them. They have been our classmates. So, but outsiders cannot know it. Unfortunately, what BJP does, they think that this is also like a state like Bihar, like Maharashtra, like Gujarat. This is also one of the states for us to administer. It is not a place to administer. It is a place to take big decisions. It is a place where you need to understand the psychology of the people, where you need to understand what they want and what is. So Kashmiri Muslims, now, what has the government of India so far, what they have done? They appoint in charge Kashmir affairs people like, once there was Ram Madhav, he was from Tamil Nadu. Tarun Chugh, he was from Punjab. And similarly, they are appointing as in charge of Kashmir affairs people who do not know who do not know anything about Kashmir, who do not know their psychology, who do not know what Muslims actually, how they are. They are not like Muslims the rest of India. The rest of India Muslim knows that I have to live around 80% Hindus. He has a different psychology to live. But Kashmiri Muslim knows that I am all in all here. I want Kashmiri Pandit only to come here as a tourist and go. I don't want him to take possession of the land as he used to be before. He is not ready to share now. How that has happened. So they have a dual personality. Unless they are given a big shock, unless they are treated. un- Unfortunately, government of India has not taken Kashmir. They have not spoken to single Kashmiri Pandit that what should be done. We have so many organizations. Kashmiri Pandits have another weakness that they have so many organizations in Delhi, in Jammu, everywhere, in Lucknow, everywhere we have a Kashmiri association. But government of India has never spoken to any Kashmiri. What you say about how to handle this problem? No, they are asking the Bihari man, they are asking the Maharashtrian, they are asking Tamil. Arey, poor fellow, how he knows? He does not know the basic problem. See, you are from Tamil Nadu. I don't know much of Tamil Nadu. I don't know the culture. I don't know the way of life. I don't know what is in their minds when they are raising some slogans. What is basically in their mind? Similarly, how can others know, outsiders? And when,
So,
yeah, please.
um, um, you talked about you actually I could understand your frustrations, and you admonished even Hindus for not doing enough. So, what do you think is should be done now, according to you? What is missing, and
Well,
what are your
there are
recommendations?
many. See, the problem is to be dealt with through administrative means, through social means. So I had written some suggestions I had given to PMO. I wrote it in Hindi. I sent it by speed post, but nobody reads it. One of the suggestions I can share with you, others are slightly complex, which and maybe I should not say it on such a platform. One of the suggestions was we have lakhs and lakhs of sadhus at Haridwar, at Uttarkashi, at Rishikesh. We have millions of them. Sadhus, we don't, even in South India, we have many sadhus. Why not send 30,000 sadhus, place them in 7,000 temples of Kashmir? Fortunately, Kashmiri temples, the temples of Kashmir have not been yet, they have ruined them, but they have not possessed, they have not taken the possession, they have not grabbed them. Muslims. We have about 7,000 temples in Kashmir. So they are of course in bad shape, but the land has not been grabbed by them. They have not encroached them. So why not use these 7,000 temples, send about 30,000 sadhus? What are they doing there in Haridwar? Reciting Har Har Gange? Let them go to Kashmir and say Har Har Shiva. If 30,000 sadhus go to Kashmir, stay spread over all these 7,000 temples, stay 5 6 sadhus in one temple, and then they have everyday bhajans and kirtans loudly. When they can speak loudly in the mosque, speak about Islam, why can't we speak from the mosque, from the temple? We will recite bhajans on loudspeakers. Then there will be interaction. One sadhu will be going to another sadhu. They will have, they will go by foot. They will use public transport, and because they have a different attire, trishul in their hand, let government give all the facilities to them, ration and other
So,
things.
you think sadhus will return even if there is any such
You
scheme?
see,
Sadhus will be willing.
why not? When it comes to the nation, why sadhus cannot? They can ask for. They can even ask sadhus, volunteer yourself, come forward. We want to save Kashmir. Why? See, this will create a wedge in today's what hardness is there about that it is purely Muslim. Everything is only Islam. Why don't you create, unless you cut through that channel, unless you make a wedge somewhere, unless you cut through somewhere, unless you make them understand, no, this is the land of Hindus. You are, you see, even today, they have not changed their surnames. The fellow who was studying with me was Muhammad Shafi Pandit. How can you have a Pandit surname in Islam? We have stayed in, you and me, we have both stayed in Islamic countries. Do we have we heard any time the surname of a person as a Pandit or a Kowal or Rana or Kichilu? How it can be? So they know they are converts. They are our children. The blood and genes is ours, which is flowing in their veins. So we know where to inject them. But the government has to ask us. They are asking some outsiders. How should we tackle that? See, so
So,
this
did you get any response to your? You sent a
never,
letter.
they never reply a tweet, they never reply. See, there are many things which we cannot say on many platforms. I can't tweet many things because that will sometimes maybe that will create a furore
No,
because they
no,
will also.
it's an important point. Like last is previous session, I don't know if you have heard. We talked about peaceful coexistence.
Peaceful
I think that's a
coexistence.
very important thing.
I'm not saying unpeaceful. Isn't it peaceful if we have a bhajan in our temple and if we have havan and yajna? in the compound of Sharika Devi. How can they resist that? See, when Adi Shankaracharya could convert all the Buddhists back to Hinduism, Ghar Vapsi, why can't we so many Hindus do Ghar Vapsi for them? We can make them understand that was a backlash. That was just a blunder, a technical error that you threw us out. But you cannot do it every time. Now we have come. How can you do it? And what I'm slightly against, I can't say against, but I don't appreciate these people. We have VHP, we have Bajrang Dal, we have so many Hindu associations. They don't do anything for a Hindu. I have personally asked some BJP people, VHP people to help me. They don't do it. They are only slogan raisers. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram. If at that time when we were asked forcibly to leave Kashmir, had these RSS people or VHP people had 10,000 people have come together with the just lathis in their hands, had they come to Kashmir, we would not have left. We are not cowards. We are very brave and intelligent people. We are a very intelligent community. Maybe we would not have left, but there was nobody to help us. The government was run by them. The public, there was a furor. We had to save. We had to save our children. We had to save our wives. So family. So, but this nobody understands this. Nobody takes such steps that which can revive, and nobody asks us. They are asking, can a Bihari be in charge of? In the Ministry of Home Affairs, you will not believe, sir. I have once been to Ministry of Home Affairs because one of my neighbors is working there. I told him, let me speak to somebody. Let me see how much he knows about us. I was shocked. He did not know anything about even Srinagar city. He did not know the vicinity. He did not know the borders of Kashmir. He did not know where from infiltration is happening. He just knew nothing. He was a secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs. So they are just enjoying their taking big, huge salaries, enjoying going. And when they go to Kashmir as dignitary, as secretary, when he goes, he will be, well, because Muslims are very clever people. They will tell him, Hindustan Zindabad, sir, stay here, sir, you can have this Hanuman Chalisa in the morning and you can have Ram Puja there. He will place even a Murti there. They are so clever people, they know how to handle them. And when he goes back to Delhi, he says, oh, they are very nice people. Because we know individually they are very nice, but collectively they are bad.
No, but how many Kashmiri Pandits are willing to return to Kashmir now?
Oh, why not, sir? Many will return. Many have still land left. Many have still houses, maybe in bad condition. Willing, the atmosphere should be such. I am telling you, Pakistani Hindus. I have met many of them. I met a group of Pakistani Hindus who are here in Delhi, in Majnu Ka Tila. These, these our leaders just only talk big. They do just nothing. I asked them, what do you do for the electricity? They say at the night we put just a wire on the HT wire with the bamboo stick. They have not given us proper connection. Later on, they did after 6 months. Similarly, I told them, where you take your food? Because I thought they are also refugees as we were refugees. So I was reminded of how we left. So they say we are residing here near Majnu Ka Tila because there is a Gurdwara nearby. So we have morning breakfast, lunch, and dinner free of cost because in Gurdwara anybody can come and take food. And I told them what the government has done for you. He says they are now planning. It was some 2 years back. He said that they are now planning that they will provide us with some that wheelbarrow readies, and we will sell some potatoes, and we will. I told him, what is your education? He said, my son is graduate and MA pass. He will sell potatoes. Why
No,
not?
I'm sure this program is watched by people in the ministry too. Yours is like 56th week, and so whatever you are saying now are being listened to now by people wherever
I'm
they
not
are.
saying anything. I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm
No,
saying
no,
what
but
I
it's
experience.
important. Maybe people are taking
Why
notes.
not Hindus? Hindus from Pakistan. Why are they here? They should be shifted to Kashmir. We have so much of forest land there. There's no dearth of land in Kashmir. Why not shift them? They are true Hindustanis, true Indians, because they have already had the pain in staying in Pakistan. Now they have come here permanently. They should be shifted there. And similarly, means we know there are many such things, as you rightly said, that maybe some important people also are watching this. So that's why I'm not telling everything what is in my mind. But there are many proposals which see, as much we know Kashmiri Muslim, we Kashmiri Pandits know, we have lived with them, we have grown with them. From class 2, we have grown together, wearing knickers and fighting 10 times in the classroom. So we know their psychology. We know what is in their mind. We know what is in their here, what is here. In their heart and mind, we know. These outsiders cannot know. They are going as tourists. How do they know what is in their mind? So we have to tackle them according. Every problem does not have one solution. You can, and what they do at the moment, present Indian government, I'm not criticizing them, but they have left everything to the army. Let army handle everything. Baba, it's a social problem. The people are to be converted. The people are to be taught. Election is not the means. First, you have to socially awaken. You have to
I
give
hope
them a psych.
you are reading this message on the screen. Just like you admonished all the Hindus for not practicing many things, one of our
The
viewers,
whole
Dr.
world.
Jnanam, is saying the whole world is selfish. What he says is his own painful experience.
Yes, why not? Why not? When we have so many Hindu organizations, why they did not come and to save us? Tell
No,
me.
I could see that just like you are talking about Adi Shankaracharya, everything abruptly got stopped at some point because of the turmoil and everything, and then you lost all that things what you were doing. You talked about horoscopes, you talked about dharmic principles, practice. Everything came to a standstill now, correct? And you all moved out.
Adi Shankaracharya was a superhuman being. He revived Hinduism again from south to north, especially in Kashmir. Why can't we, being a Hindu majority state of India, why can't we do it? Aren't we lacking somewhere? Have we not to do introspection? Have we not to think again? How can we have terrorism every day in Kashmir? Every second day you hear terrorists were killed, terrorists were killed, is whole Kashmir a terrorist area? So there is something wrong somewhere. We are not thinking in the right direction.
No, but
That this
at the same time, you're thinking of peaceful coexistence too, right? That's a very important aspect.
it will be automatically peaceful coexistence, because we know that Muslim who is today in a mass, when he is, I am telling you, individually, every Kashmiri Muslim is a Kashmiri Brahmin inside. He has not changed his surname. Even today on Tuesday, all butcher shops are not open on Tuesday in Kashmir, right from Maharaja time. Right, there is no cow slaughter in Kashmir in open. Maybe somewhere hidden. They don't do it openly because they are
The roots.
Kashmir. They are converted only 400 500 years back. They have not changed their surnames. I am telling you. They are proud that they are Kauls, they are Ranas, they are Pandits. So why not they ignite that thing inside them?
No, that's why you touched upon Garvapsi, right?
Yes, it should be Garvapsi. We can tell them you are actually, we allow them in Tulamula. We don't say a Muslim don't come inside Tulamula. We Kashmiri Pandits, when we go for
Yes,
puja,
yes.
the flowers, the milk, everything is given by Muslims. I used to go on every Ashtami and I used to pay that fellow the next Ashtami sometimes. So they were so familiar though. I know that even Kashmiri Muslims living around in that Tulmula area where we have Mata Khir Bhawani temple, they when they have to say something that this milk is very pure, you know what they swear by? They say Divi Husdri. They say I swear by Mother Goddess that this milk is pure from my cow. What else you need? A Muslim swearing by Mother Goddess. And when they visit that temple, I know they change their clothes, they take a bath, they have full reverence. It means there is somewhere a Hindu reason hidden inside. After all, nowadays it is a Pitra Paksha. What we say in Hindu philosophy, my my genes, I am made up of some material from my father, from my grandfather, Pitamaha, Prapitamaha, Padaprapitamaha. So it means from we talk of 7 generations. When we are doing Tarpan of Shraddha, we talk of seven
Grandfather.
generations because this is also scientific. Because this Shukranu inside us, the semen, it has it continues till 7 generations the instant it is medically approved. So it means, and what to say of those Muslims? Aren't they our genes? 400 years back, they were all Hindus. So we have to invoke that. Why not to invoke them? Why not to do them garvats? Rather, we should tell them you are a Hindu, yeah. Even today you are a Hindu. Then what? You are adopting Islam. Still you are a Hindu. I tell you, see, our type of Islam, you and me, we have lived both of us in Arab, and Islam has started from there. The Islam of here, of India or Kashmir, is different than Islam what is there. You must be appreciating this because
No,
that
one Muslim scholar came in our series. He almost talked about what you are saying.
yeah. So they don't go to Mazar. You know, if you bow in Makkah, if you kiss that cloth, the policeman standing behind, he slaps on your buttock and says, "Well, move forward," because it is Hinduism then. If you are
Correct.
if you are kissing if you are kissing
Forbidden.
the
Yes.
cloth of Makkah, then it is Hinduism. If you are bowing, then it is Hinduism. I tell you, we are so much influenced by this. There was a Muslim boy who was working at Makkah and as a guard. He was a guard there to say, people, please move this side. He is speaking to his mother in somewhere in Uttar Pradesh that the last few days there was so much of rush and I am feeling very feverish and please go and offer a chadar at the mazar of that village Mohalla Dargah. You understand? This is Hinduism inside him. And when he talked this to another fellow, he said, Baba, you are standing at the highest level of place of Muslims. This is the Makkah. There is no other place in the world for Muslims. You are telling your mother to offer a chadar to a dead man? My God, you are standing at the highest level of worship for Muslims. There is no other place for Muslims. This is the highest. This is Kailash Parvat for Muslims. It is some like Shivji gives the darshan at the Kailash temple, And then a Hindu goes to his neighboring temple and tells him, "Oh, please offer milk." Arey Baba, you have got everything just before you. You have the complete darshan, and still you are longing for that. That is look, because this is inside the genes. These Muslims are Hindus from inside. We have to invoke that. We have to we have to convince them that you are basically Baba, we will not harm you. We are so the policies are to be made in such a manner. Everything is to be thought about. It's cultural integration, social level. You have to take so many decisions. Don't leave everything to army. Army is okay. They are for the border. It is okay. But the condition of Kashmir today, I have seen army people controlling the traffic in Batamalu. Is it job of an army officer to control traffic? Oh, Baba, he is such a big man. He is such an important person of the Indian army. Should he come down off the vehicle and with his whistle and what is this? So it means we have left everything to them. For army to decide everything. Army should be at the borders. Inside social things, social decisions, social this many decisions involving people to people should be there. This sadhu also will work. You can start with that. Then many things will
No,
come.
maybe somebody is making notes and your voices will be heard, and you made quite a few points. I think we are running, we are exceeding our time limits today. We should continue this discussion. I'll find a slot for you, so we'll come and share your personal experience. Maybe you can bring one or two Panditjis and talk about this real ground level discussion now. We talked enough about the past glory and all, but this is reality that we should be talking about. And we will continue this discussion. And Dhanyavad ji for wonderful discussion,
My
starting from Adi
pleasure.
Shankaracharya to today's ground level situation you touched upon.
And we need his blessings. He should bless us from there, from the heaven. I know he is sitting in heaven and listening to this. With his blessings, we should be doing good in future.
So I will see you soon in Pitru Paksh Day, and we'll continue this discussion.
Yes, sure. Thank you very much. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, our viewers. We would like more people to subscribe to our channel, which is now crossing 750 or 760 subscribers. We have more interesting discussions coming up. So please, every Saturday, stay tuned to our Kashmir Cultural Heritage Awareness Series. We want to thank Kanchi Mutt channels, Facebook, YouTube, Kamakoti.tv, and of course Dinamalar. Dinamalar always makes it a point to mention about our ongoing series every Tuesday or Thursday or before Saturday. They give a write-up. We want to thank VDSP for covering our streaming live every Saturday. Till we meet next Saturday, same time. Jai Jai Shankara, Hare Hare Shankara.